freaking rocket. Holy shit. If Honda built an ATC, they should have made a 500. If a 250 is fun, well, a 500 is going to be twice as fun. You know, with the extended swing arm, it feels really stable. And most ATCs I ride on, I feel like I'm riding a kid's bike. They feel really small. This doesn't feel small. It feels like it's the right size. And that's probably because of the 2-inch wider axle and the extended swing arm. How'd it sound ripping down the driveway?
It sounds like a CR500 on alcohol.
You know, this thing runs so good. I'm wondering if maybe we should do an alcohol conversion on one of our CRs. Certainly for sand dunes and hill climbing. We gotta look into it.
Can you run it in the AMA?
Hey man, as long as they're not testing fuel, why not, you know? Probably in amateur races they wouldn't.
Line up to Southwick.
This thing hauls ass. I just separated my shoulder 3 weeks ago, and I was told not to ride motorcycles at all by my doctor. So
trikes?
I think an alcohol-powered 90 horsepower trike might be pushing my luck. I'm gonna have to ice this thing down. Holy shit, that was stupid. But I wasn't gonna pass up the opportunity to ride this fire-breathing dragon. Hell no. What's happening, fellas? Check out this fire-breathing dragon. This trike had me at hello. The first time I saw it, I was like, this thing is just off the hook. This started life as an 85 ATC500R liquid-cooled two-stroke, and it's been converted to an ATC500R done by Tyler Hansen, a professional mechanic out of California. No expense spared. About $9,000 in parts and materials went into the build, and about 150 hours conservatively, he said, he put into massaging this thing to perfection. And it was built for himself, by himself, with no corners cut. Starting at the rear of the bike, it's got a DuraBlue axle on here, 2-inch extended axle, 12-inch extension on the swing arm. Axle, as you can see, is a polished aluminum. It has the Douglas wheels, polished 6061 aluminum rims with the paddle tires on there, about $800 worth of paddle tires on the back of this thing, and they're in brand new condition, only ridden on the sand once. These are the scat tracks on the back. The front has the same Douglas wheel treatment to the front with the red hubs. The rear hubs are painted red to match. The forks are the original ATC250Rs, rebuilt, resprung with polished lowers and a super nice set of triple clamps that are also Cerakoted the same color as the swing arm. The plastics are brand new. The seat is a work of art. Take a look at this seat. The seat had me at hello. Look at the quality of the stitching on this thing. I'll take the seat off and show you the quality of the frame and the rest of the work on this thing. Everywhere you look on this bike, absolutely pristine, top of the line. Gas tank, the Service carbon fiber style gas cap, red breather hose, the graphics, the polished aluminum radiators. I'll get to the motor in a second. There's a tachometer, an exhaust gas temperature gauge, an hour meter, and a clock on the gauges up here. It has Pro Taper, Pro Taper CR high bars with the Pro Taper bar mounts. It's got the Honda thumb throttle, top of the line MSR clutch, cable, and aluminum levers. Just beautiful. All the hardware on the bike is polished aluminum or titanium or billet or anodized. Everywhere you look on the bike, there's not a single part of this bike that wasn't improved or modified, including the pegs. Even the pegs were modernized with the extension on the back. The mounting hardware was chromed. The axle, the swing arm pivot is chromed. The pipe, this was custom made by CPI to his spec. It's a drag pipe. It's estimated to put down about 90 rear wheel horsepower. This is a alcohol burning. We have VP, a 5-gallon can of VP mixed 28-1 with the 927 premix. So it's set up by Packard Enterprises. You can see the carburetor has a Packard Enterprises logo on the bottom. They did their drag porting on the cylinder. The intake is to a free breathing open K&N style air filter, 3-inch intake. The carb is electron carb set up for alcohol. There's a pump on here to pump the alcohol. The cylinder, again, is basically completely polished to perfection, chrome, as were the engine cases. We did Junior's set at our shop. He had 35 hours into polishing the engine cases and swing arm on his bike. It takes a lot of time to get them looking this nice. A lot of effort. The engine cases were split. The crank was sent out to Crankworks. It's a brand new crank, brand new rod. I'll read off the work order exactly what they did, but by memory it was balanced and it was welded and it's set up for alcohol. The porting is a drag porting. The cylinder is bored to 89.5, has a brand new piston in it. You can see the head has a compression release on here, all new hoses. It has the intake spacer like we do on the motocross motors. And again, the pipe is a custom hand built by CPI to his spec in the frame and chromed. This is a very expensive pipe. It also has an exhaust gas temperature sensor mounted into the pipe and going up to the gauge at the top there. No expense spared. All the hardware on the bike, the ignition cover. Now this is running as Honda CR250 2001 ignition and a flywheel. It's a little bit lighter than the 500 flywheel. So this thing revs to the moon. It'll rev to we had it up to 9,800 RPM. I would have liked to put it on the dyno, but we have a motorcycle dyno. We had no way to hook it up. I thought about ways to do it, but we couldn't come up with a way to put it on a dyno. But Tyler estimated it at 90 horsepower with the alcohol setup. Now, if you want to run this on gas, we have the kit. He gave us the kit to convert the carb to gas. It's not that big of a deal to do. You can do that, but you're going to get a lot more horsepower for drag racing or hill climbing or performance sand dune riding with this alcohol setup. It's an absolutely stunning work of art. No expense spared. Again, now do the math. 150 hours labor at the standard shop rate of $90 an hour. You've got over $13,000 shooting from the hip of labor. $9,000 in parts. If you could even find a shop that would build this for you, you're going to drop over 20 grand to duplicate this bike. It's absolutely stunning, and it's one of a kind. I haven't seen one this nice anywhere. So not in the magazines, anywhere. It's just a beautiful piece. Again, starter life as an 85 ATC500R. The engine is an 89 CR500. The Crankworks billet has a Crankworks billet pro rod balanced to the piston with what they call a heavy metal process, and the cans were welded. It was $1,200 just to do the crank. The side case on the other side where the water pump is brand new. The water pump assembly is brand new. Everything's new underneath that cover, including the clutch. All the bearings and seals, every bearing and seal and gasket in the motor is brand new. There's less than 2 hours runtime on the entire build. It's essentially a brand new motor that's just been broken in and tuned. It's a 44 millimeter Electron carburetor with a dual power jet. It's running the V-Force 3 intake with the alcohol pedals. So just a stunning piece. Custom intake. Again, digital 2001 CR250 ignition. If you have any questions about this, give us a call. 860-454-7024. Also the head, if you zoom in on the head, that head was actually welded and then machined, so it had 53 cc's of capacity for the alcohol setup. The chain is a massive 525 chain, so just no corners cut, and I think the bike kind of speaks for itself. I probably left out a few things. I'll try to, anything I may have missed, I'll include in the written document for the bike that will be on eBay in the description. Just a world-class piece. It looks fast, it is fast, and like my dad said, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, this thing's one badass machine. The graphics on the back here, ATC500R, custom made. The seat cover, 500R, custom made. If you want to build one of these, well, you better start with a $20,000 bank account and have 6 months to a year of time to find a shop that'll do it. That's for sure. Or do it yourself and plan on 150 plus hours of nights and weekends and months chasing parts and delivering parts and tuning. This one's done. Just pull the trigger, wire the money, buy it, and it's yours. Again, if you have any questions, give us a call. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.